Welcome to AT 24/7. I'm Aaron Dean. Israel has ramped up its offensive in Gaza following Hamas's surprise attacks on Saturday. More than 1,200 people have been killed in Israel and more than 1,100 have been killed in Gaza. The horrific attacks of Hamas are putting Jewish communities across the globe on high alert. The Advocate Channel's Jen Sullivan has the latest on the war in Israel and the extra security measures being taken in cities across the world.
The night sky lighting up as Hamas launches rockets near Sderot, Israel. The destruction is catastrophic and the stories of survival chilling, like Lee Saucy, who was at the Nova Music Festival Saturday when Hamas attacked.
I thought my life was going to end. I thought I was going to die.
Much of the violence by Hamas has been captured on camera. That's how Gaia Cauldron learned her family members were kidnapped.
It was so hard to watch. It's horrible that I need to find out something like that in a video.
The horrific images sending shockwaves throughout the world and putting other Jewish communities on high alert.
The shock, the hurt, and the grief that we are feeling, every person with human conscience should be feeling and should feel devastated at this time.
Cities across the globe ramping up security. France deploying 10,000 police officers to protect some 500 Jewish sites. In New York City, police officers are stationed outside synagogues and temples. The grief hitting here at home as at least 20 Americans are among the dead in Israel, and Americans have also been taken hostage by Hamas.
I think we all need to steel ourselves for the very distinct possibility that these numbers will keep increasing.
Meanwhile, vigils and support rallies are being held across the U.S. to show support for Israel.
That close connection hits home when there's a challenge like this.
I'm Jen Sullivan reporting.
The U.S. is an ally of Israel, but there have been some pro-Palestinian rallies. This one is in downtown Chicago protesting U.S. funding to Israel. The war has claimed more than 2,600 lives on both sides and displaced more than 340,000 people. The Biden administration and congressional Democrats may tie military support for Israel to the military assistance for Ukraine. Senator Tim Scott, who is also running for president, is critical of the growing number of pro-Palestinian protests across the country.
I think they're disgusting, to be simple. I can't understand how anyone would show up at a pro rally when in fact what you're showing up to is the consequence of the beheading of babies. So showing up at a rally that supports that kind of unconscionable behavior, it's just disgusting.
Embattled Representative George Santos says that he will not accept a plea deal and he will run for re-election next year. Santos says that none of the 23 charges against him have any merit. This week, federal prosecutors filed new charges, including allegations that he stole donors' identities and made fraudulent charges on their credit cards. He's also facing embezzlement charges and campaign finance violations. Democrats and Republicans are now calling for him to resign.
The House Democratic Caucus firmly believes that individual, that George Santos, does not meet the standards of someone who should serve under this dome. We've been very clear about that. It's only our Republican colleagues who have protected him, namely because they need the vote.
In Florida, the Miami-Dade School District has approved more conservative school curriculum. The school board approved new social studies, histories, geography, and civics textbooks to align with the new legislation signed by Florida's Governor Ron DeSantis. They'll go into use in the 2024-25 school year for grades 1 through 12. Over the summer, Florida's Board of Education approved teachings that suggest some enslaved people benefited from slavery. The new laws bans school lessons that suggest a person is privileged or oppressed based on race or skin color. And thanks so much for joining us for AT 24/7. For more, go to theadvocatechannel.com and subscribe on the Advocate Channel YouTube page. For the Advocate Channel, I'm Aaron Dean.